guys, so welcome back. If you're new to my channel or simply not yet subscribed, I'm Brittany, this is Luna, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. So New Jersey is filled with a bunch of phenomena, creatures, and legends. And we're going to be talking about one today. Now, one of the most storied sites in New Jersey, this mysterious body of water that is known as the Blue Hole. It's located deep within the Pine Barrens, which is also where the Jersey Devil is known to be. It's on the border of Camden and Gloucester counties. So this legendary small body of water is said to not only be bottomless, but also a frequent pit stop for the Jersey Devil. Locals will literally tell their children to not go near it, to not swim in it. Tales of unexplained whirlpools that literally drag down helpless swimmers have been a very large part of the Blue Hole's lore. And some of the people that have actually escaped these whirlpools say that as they were being sucked down, that they actually felt like something was pulling them down. Now, if there is a bottom of the Blue Hole, which is said to be bottomless, it's thought that the bottom is made of fine sand, which is also found in the surrounding area. And the sand is sometimes referred to as sugar sand, which is kind of like quicksand. And even though the Blue Hole has this bad reputation, this eerie, don't go by it, don't swim there, it wasn't always the case. Back in the 1930s, this location was actually a very popular picnic spot and a swimming spot among the locals. But in the 1940s, a storm had washed out a wooden bridge over the nearby Egg Harbor River. And this had cut off the main access to the Blue Hole. So ever since then, it became isolated in this very dense forest. And it's only accessible by foot or vehicle. And even vehicle is hard because of the sand. The Blue Hole is around 130 feet across. And it's almost perfectly round, having steep banks. Its waters are pretty cold. Even on really hot days, it will only average about 58 degrees. Most of the bodies of water in the Pine Barrens are like this tea type color because of the content of iron in the water. However, the Blue Hole is perfectly clear. Now, there are several theories to how the Blue Hole came to be. Is that a meteorite struck Earth and that's what created the Blue Hole? Others say that it's what geologists call a pingo. A pingo is this small body of water, which is the result of an ice mass that forms beneath permanently frozen soil during an ice age. The ice mass will expand for thousands of years and breaks through the permafrost and creates this depression rimmed by a hill. Now we're going to dive into some experiences at the Blue Hole. So this one says, I mentioned the Blue Hole to my dad, who has lived in South Jersey all his life. Much to my surprise, he knew exactly what I was talking about. When he was a kid growing up in Blue Anchor, part of Winslow, he and his friends would go swimming in the creek about 100 feet from the Blue Hole. My dad was told to never go swimming in the Blue Hole because it was bottomless and freezing cold. Of course, my dad and his friends had to immediately try it, as we all do when we are told not to do something as kids, right? One jumped in, then climbed right out. The water was indeed freezing in the middle of summer. Another one of my father's friends who dove in did not escape as easily. The hole looked to be about 70 feet across and roughly circular. The edges appeared to be raised, which was consistent with one of the rumors I had read, that the Blue Hole was actually a crater from an ancient meteor. The bottom, at least on the edge was only about a foot. An eerie calm hung over the entire spot when I visited the Blue Hole. Maybe it was the ghost of one of my father's friends who dove in head first and broke his neck. So then the next one is, I grew up visiting the Blue Hole often and can confirm the story. Henry Charlton Beck, a renowned credible historian of New Jersey, devotes a chapter to the Blue Hole and its legends in his book Forgotten Towns of Southern New Jersey. In it, he recounts tales from old piney folk about people who have died in the hole over the years, as well as the occasion when a group of scientists visited the hole to determine its depth. To accomplish this, they lower an enormous length of twine with a heavy weight tied to the end of it into the water. After dropping a mile of twine into the center of the hole, they gave up their investigation. This was in the 1920s, I believe. I'm surprised that this doesn't have more legends of being like a portal or something with the bottomless part of it. Let me know if you guys have ever been to the Blue Hole, if you guys have ever tried swimming in it. Don't necessarily recommend it. I don't think that's something that I would personally ever try. I'm not a strong swimmer at all. So I'm more like a doggy paddle until I get where I need to go. I don't have great breathing, not strong lungs. So swimming isn't my forte. I usually try to stay where I can touch. And this does not sound like one of those areas. Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and until my next video, I love you guys. Bye.